I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F*** it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Yeah, it does, Bill. Welcome in. It is the Daily Puck Drop here on a Thursday, February 2nd. Welcome in, kiddos. And now I'm realizing I've got the wrong microphone on. Just a real idiot. You know what? I'm a one-trick pony. I fixed it now. Hopefully it sounds better. I just had a feeling this didn't sound good. All right, you know what it is? It's celebration hangover. That's what it is. Welcome in to Thursday's show. Rocking and rolling today. Again, like a lot of these shows we're doing this week, a little bittersweet. Mike Garafolo hopefully joins us, but it will be the final time we get to talk to Mike here for a regular basis, and we'll touch in with Mike a few other times during the offseason. We lead up to like the draft and the combine. And listen, when they hire a new offensive coordinator, Mike's going to be on it, so we'll talk to him about, when that happens. It's another edition. It's not going away. KJ-Arent with one Mitch Levy. I caught up with Mitch after the Super Bowl for his show that he put out there on Monday, but our first, chance here to talk to Mitch, so looking forward to that coming up a little bit later in the show. Ryan Divish, Inside Pitch, of course, is back, going on now a full-time basis. Divish is back. Big thanks to the one and only Chalet Bowl down there in the historic Proctor District down in Tacoma. Once again, bringing you Ryan Divish every single week as we talk baseball with Divish. And he's not going away. He's going to start spring training, and then he's going to cover the team. He's not going to go out and go coach anymore. So excited to talk to Divish this week as they report. Pitchers and catchers are there. He's already got video there of guys throwing bullpen sessions, batting practice, all of it, cleats on the ground. God, what a week. The Super Bowl parade. They win the Super Bowl parade, and now pitchers and catchers report. So we'll get you all of that on today's show. As always, we come via the Limback Lumber Studios. Big thanks to Paul, Mark, and Matt, the entire crew there at Limback Lumber. None of this would be possible without our great sponsors, and it starts with Limback Lumber. They're going to take care of you. Free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. They've got the largest stock moldings in the Northwest. Just use them if you can. You want to shop local, make the drive down there to Ballard and shop local. They've been doing business since 1930. Give them a call at 206-782-3487 or visit them online at limbacklumber.com. You can visit me on all the social media platforms. By the way, Puck Sports everywhere that you find your social media content. Also, visit me at pucksports.com. There, you can sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. There's a link at the very top. Being a Posse member, you sign up, you get all the access that we do daily. It's a way to support that, a way to support this continuing in 2026. Plus, we give you bonus shows every single week. We do have the latest sports bit with Stretch detailing his Super Bowl trip with his brother. It's great. Just a lot of great emotion from Stretch and doing it in the only way that he can do it and deliver it. And then we'll have Inside Pitch is out right now, the audio version of it. Video will be up later. But Inside Pitch is out right now. If you want to say, hey, listen, I don't like the Thursday live show. This kind of sucks. I'm going to go talk to Divish. It is available right now. And, of course, coming out later today, although you get it free during the live Daily Puck Drop, KJ-Arent with one Mitch Levy coming up a little bit later. All right. Well, yesterday was fun. I hope everyone had a great time, whether you made it down there or not. I don't know. It was sensational. There was a lot of people there. I don't know what the reported numbers were down there for how many people made it downtown. I don't know. I've heard anywhere from 750,000 to 1 million. But it just was a lot of people. It was so much fun. The weather was great, but the players were fantastic. I think just everyone that put that thing together. And it's just so cool because, rare do we get situations like we saw yesterday where we get everyone to kind of come together for one thing, right? It's usually, we're divided on a lot of things, and I get that. Sports, though, has that amazing power, though, to kind of bring everyone together, and especially after your team wins a championship. And to see everyone down there yesterday, and to see all the fans and the amount of kids that were there, kudos to the parents. And I'll thank myself, pat myself on the back. But thank you to all the parents that took kids out of school yesterday. It's one of those opportunities they may never get again. You never know. And that's, the crazy thing with sports, may never get another opportunity to see them have a Super Bowl parade. And they got to experience it. I know for, my kids, my daughter was, 4. Boy, she made her debut yesterday on the Daily Puck Drop. How about that? That's a state champion right there, folks, and a Metro champion. And, she was 4. She didn't remember that at all. My son was 1. I don't even know if he's 1, like 6 months old, 8 months old. And so they don't remember that. Now that they got to experience it for themselves. And I just thought the players were great. They were so cool. We were towards the end of the parade, and just they were great in terms of how they interacted with everyone, how they got out. Could easily, for those guys, they could just be staying like in their vans or whatever and not come out and greet everyone. But they were great. They came out, they thanked everyone, and it was kind of cool. It was cool to kind of watch all of that happen yesterday, and they were great. Riq Woolen was like hanging out with my son forever, and he was great, and just every player, staff member that came down. Those are they make lifetime of memories. I think for the kids, and I think for the fans, it was cool. It's cool for those guys to kind of get after it and let loose. And I know there's going to be people out there, I think it was too much drinking. It was too much swearing. Well, you got to understand that this is a group of men who, since the summer, really for the most, they treat their bodies, everything like temples. They don't do anything. They go hard. And especially for a team that's, competing for and winning a world championship, from the 1st of July, August, September, just all of it are going every single day and going the hardest that they possibly can. And for them, they need a little bit of stress relief, right? They need to be like, I need to let some steam off. And they did that yesterday. That was great. And I know some people, maybe with the speeches, and the one prominent one is going to be Ernest Jones. Oh my God. Did Ernest Jones go over the line? No, but I think what Ernest Jones was doing there at the parade and at the celebration, when he talked and he picked up that microphone, he was praising the quarterback. He was praising his teammate. He was praising a guy that has been, criticized, critiqued, picked on, raked over the coals, was his teammate Sam Darnold. And that was, I think, an acknowledgement from Ernest Jones to say to the rest of the world, all the critics, and that F you when it comes to Sam Darnold. And I think, even for Sam, was him acknowledging, I think, for the very first time that, some of that outside noise, that he listened to it. And I think everybody is probably smart enough to understand that, he heard it. He did a good job of just not acknowledging, it, and to not bring any more attention, to what was happening. But they're human and they hear about this stuff all the time, whether he has social media or not. You can't ignore yourself and completely block all of that stuff out from what people say about you. And I think for Sam is no different than anyone else. I think the difference with Darnold is he just didn't give in to the narrative and all the questions after every victory, right? Whether it was the end of the year victory, which gave him the number 1 seed against San Francisco, didn't give him the soundbite that everybody wanted. Same for the divisional round, and then really same for the NFC Championship. And even in the Super Bowl, the aftermath of the Super Bowl, he just wouldn't give in to those types of questions afterwards. And for the first time, up on that podium in front of all the fans, all of you guys, finally just, let it come out. And that was good for Sam Darnold. I think you got to release it a little bit. And I've said this many times before. We've talked to all of our different guests, is that, I wonder what the effect of this is going to be for Darnold. Like, how is Sam Darnold going to now come out in this next season? You're a Super Bowl champion. You have validated where you've been drafted. You have validated your career. And maybe it's and I think the validation is not to everyone else. The validation, I think, is to himself. That's the validation. And I think that's important for him. And what I'm intrigued and excited to see him is, what does that do for him? Does it release him? Does it take a monkey off his back? Does it allow him to play more free, more carefree, and all of that? I think sometimes when you finally cross something, and he finally did, because no one can ever say that he's not an NFL champion. No one can ever say that he's a bust anymore, because he's won a championship. He's won a Super Bowl. It's one of the coolest stories that certainly came out of that championship. All right. Well, it's a sad day. It's a sad day because we welcome this guy into your homes, into your ears every single week during the football season. Now we're not going to have him on every week. Well, we'll catch up with him during the offseason a little bit, every now and again. But this man's got a life. He's got kids to chase around, girls, and then they're getting older and they're getting rowdier. And you know what? His offseason, there's no offseason for this guy, because he's got to chase his family around. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one NFL insider report of all time, from the NFL Network, it's our good friend Mike Garafolo, all brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance. Contact Jamie Hartley when he's not playing golf, and it's a good day to play golf. 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. Big thanks to Andrew Herzog and the whole crew there. Perfect spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends. Check out Zogs on Facebook and Instagram for their hours and event times. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. NFL Network, Mike Garafolo. Hi, Mike. How are you, sir?
We're not doing this every week?
Well, I mean, we got to give you some time off. Been doing that,
I don't know. I thought we did every week.
I think
we have in the past, right?
We have, but I'm gonna give you a little summer break, and then we can pick it back up. I don't know, draft. I mean, there is no off season. I get that, but you need.
All right, we'll figure that out
a little bit, okay?
People are finding this riveting so far, so we'll finish that off.
All right, let's get. Is that how you thought the game would play out?
Yes. Well, yes. I picked the Seahawks on here, right?
You did.
I said low scoring game, which it was a low scoring game despite the last. I don't know. Did it fall under your total? I have no idea.
Yes.
Okay. So
we didn't need another touchdown. There was no more scoring.
Well, there was that hold at the end there that took away a touchdown, right?
Yeah, that would have been bad.
That would have been. My buddy was in one of those squares deals, and he had it.
Although I feel bad for Walker, because that's the play that punctuates, right, the MVP. That's the signature moment of it.
He had it anyway. I don't know. I mean, did you have fun?
You know what? It was weird. But blast, I just think it was one of those weird games going into it as a fan, is that you should be nervous and scared and like, oh my God. And there was none of that with this. I just didn't feel, I was like, yeah, maybe they won't move the ball as much against them, but I'm like, there's no way that offense is going to do anything against that defense. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And that played out. It played out exactly how I thought it was going to. And that never happens, really, when you think about sports.
Right. Yeah. Very rarely. I mean, I don't think the rest of the nation was thrilled. They wanted they like offense. They want a close game. They want all that stuff. They didn't get what they want. Some of them didn't even get their preferred halftime show. Play your violins for all those people.
It was great. It just was. I think you see that type of defensive performance against that team. And again, maybe it's not the best offensive team in the world. I get that. But, even though statistically they were right up there, but it was a slow drip of dominance. And I think what was cool to watch them win this Super Bowl this year, opposed to the team that won it, 12 years ago. That was a dominance from the get-go. I mean, it was just, they set the tone early and it was over. This was just a slow drip and drip and drip and drip and drip, in which, if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm just like, my God, we can't do anything against these guys.
I mean, Marcus Jones had a chance at a pick early in the game, went off his hands, and I jumped up and screamed because we did like an off the beaten path MVP on Good Morning Football when I did a appearance briefly in San Francisco, and Marcus Jones was my guy. I said, I'll give you an outside the box one because we've only had. Even though I picked the Seahawks, it really made no sense. We were just doing it for the sake of a segment, and he had one off his hand. I was like, there it was. And so if you're the Patriots, that play early on, a couple of those moments. I think there was another one where there could have been a potential turnover that they didn't make happen. You got to make those early on, and maybe it's a different game if they do, because now you're forcing the Seahawks to play from behind. And maybe that opens up a little bit more on offense. But there's just a lot of talk after the game about we knew exactly what they were going to do. There was even a film breakdown. There's a kid that does film breakdowns now that's like – and sometimes I think he makes assumptions. Like there was one where he's like, this is the way they covered it because they knew they're not running a hitch route out of the slot. They never run that. I'm like, you don't call your coverage based on like here's what the slot receiver is going to run. But later in the game, they did run it. And they were there, boom, two guys converged on it to shut it down. So I think in a sense there was we know what they had a good beat on what they were doing. And that's impressive to watch. And I'm sure it was a blast for their defensive coaches and players to be calling that.
Yeah. I love to, and you know what, if people haven't done it yet, NFL just came out with the 40-minute mic'd up video. And I think it just dropped last night or yesterday afternoon. And it's tremendous. Like it's great. It's inside theater. It's fun to hear these guys talk where they're at. What just stood out to me was how cool and calm and collected they were before the start of the game. And I know it's easier to say now because they won it. But they just were so relaxed and they just have this air of confidence about them.
Yeah.
Compared to New England, who even after the first drive, you could just see Mike Vrabel trying to inspire his team not to have their heads down. And it was just constant. Like these guys, I almost felt like New England knew what they were up against. And they're like, oh my God, like we watched them on film and now seeing it in person, it's worse. They're much better. And there's a couple plays there to your point about, did they know what was going on? Ernest Jones is like calling out their plays. Like he's just calling them out. He knows exactly what they're doing, and then it happens.
Yeah,
and it was just kind of their preparation for it. Just felt that they were 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of New England,
which is crazy because I felt like the only thing that had me a little bit, leaning a bit towards New England was the extra week for Vrabel and for Josh McDaniels, and in the end, I guess they didn't change much, and Seattle anticipated greatly what was going to happen there. So, any question about, and I raised this a couple of times. Let's see what Mike Macdonald and this relatively inexperienced coaching staff, as far as playing in these big games, does against coaching staffs that have been in these. Shanahan, McVay, Vrabel. Even though he didn't make the Super Bowl as a coach, he did it as a player, and he's certainly coached in big games in the playoffs before. McDaniels had experience. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes you're just better.
I think a lot of us saw this out here for the last, couple of years. When you watch Mike Macdonald call defense and what's so much we get so much praise to the Shanahans and the McVays of the world, to your point, Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson, all these offensive masterminds who have created new ways to scheme against defenses. It's been a minute since you've seen this on the other side of the ball, where a defensive guy is scheming things to confuse the offense so much, showing coverages, showing something early and then changing it late. And I think the case in point was they never sent Devin Witherspoon like this all season long. They never did it. Mm-hmm. And they flip it around and they show these different looks and him sending him in different areas that, I think Kyle Shanahan was saying before the game, and I'm not sure where he was at. I didn't see. I think it was on NBC maybe, and just said, hey, they're so good. You just don't understand how good they are of how they can disguise and mask things until you actually play them. And Mike Macdonald is just it just seems like he's one step ahead of everyone, and just a hell of a start to a young career at 38 years old.
It's back-to-back Super Bowls without without offensive play callers. You got Sirianni, you got Macdonald. So I'm and Vrabel's on the other side too. So I'm all about defensive coaches, non-offensive play calling coaches, because it just drives me nuts that these hiring cycles, everybody's looking for the young offensive play caller. I mean, it bears out, and go back to the success Pete Carroll had, Bill Belichick as a head coach. Andy Reid is sort of in that gray area. He's a co-play caller, the way that he sort of relays things in. But I would count him as an offensive play caller. But I've said for years that and you're talking about a smaller group, right? I mean, more than half the league is their head coaches are primary offensive play callers. So a smaller group is now hanging in there and winning as much, if you go back and count all the Belichick Super Bowls, as much as these other guys too. So Mike Macdonald's just a really good head coach, establishing a program, establishing a culture, and hungry for more. And now, we had a segment today, how did the Seahawks top this? I said, well, the only way to top it, and I likened it back to, when I'm a Phillies fan, and the only championship I've seen, because I don't count the Eagles ones, having been a Philadelphia fan, the only championship I've seen is 2008. They beat the Rays, and it was like, all right, we beat the Rays. And then the next year they played the Yankees, and they lose in 6. And it's like, it almost feels like we won the cheap one, right? Which is not to say that this is a cheap one by any stretch. It's the Bill Parcells. Nobody can ever say you couldn't, because you did. They've accomplished that. They've won it. Kudos to them. Rings are going to be beautiful, I'm sure. But how do you top it? All right, give us one of your best in the AFC. Give us Mahomes. Give us Josh Allen. Give us Burrow, and all those guys not in the postseason this year. So this is now going to be a team that gets the chance to build upon this, gets the chance to establish it. I mean, you always, a dynasty or whatever, the Chiefs or the Patriots, when they won their first one, it wasn't established yet. So you really didn't know. So this is a Seahawks team that could wind up winning multiple in the next 5 or 6 years, up to a decade. And you go, okay, that was a dynasty there. And the first one was, we were sitting there, did they, there's no easy way to win a Super Bowl. They've accomplished it this year. Let's see what next year brings.
And I think, I think everyone's head goes there here in this city to think about what they can do here in the next 3 to 4 years, based with how young they are, the contract situation that's pretty healthy that they're in, the fact that their head coach is 38 and he's the defensive play caller. So you're never going to lose him.
Right.
Like, he's not going anywhere. Now, replacing Clint Kubiak, which their offense took great strides from last year, Ryan Grubb to Kubiak. I mean, that's going to be they got to find someone to be able to capitalize on what they established this year and carry it over. And shoot, it may fail next year, Mike. I don't know, whoever they hire. Maybe it doesn't work out and they're like, oh my God, now we're back, to square one, trying to find a suitable play caller. But I think this group, because of how we've been talking about this all week, this group of how they carry themselves, I think is a little bit different than the last one, because I thought that last one burned hot. It was from top down. It was an organization led by the coach to the players that burned hot, and it was gonna flame out real quick. You could maybe get one more. They should have had one more, and maybe a third. But the landing was gonna crash hard because of those personalities. I don't get a sense with this group. It's not wired like that one. Not to say that they're better than the last one. I'm just saying it's just wired differently with those players. And I think, they just gotta. I mean, their stiffest competition is going to be the same team that's in their damn division. I mean, that's the one. Getting past them.
Yeah, and they're structured well. I mean, John Schneider's done a good job of sustaining success there, even when they've had their reboots and rebuild years. And to go from a quarterback, and we've made this point. I mean, if Geno works with them, he takes the offer. He's the quarterback this year, and Sam Darnold's not. And how does that play out, right? I don't know. How does that play out? No idea. But he's done a good job of making sure that there's they're structured in a way that allows for continued success, and that's going to be the case here. They're going to lose some players. We had Riq Woolen on this morning. I would be shocked if he's back with the Seahawks, especially because we talked around the trade deadline of potentially the trade there. They've got a few other guys they need to figure out. I don't think there's going to be a Darnold renegotiation. I think he plays one more year. I do. And then they talk about it in the final year of the deal, which gives him more leverage potentially. If he plays well again, it's like, okay, now we're gonna let's do this thing for real. So that's my anticipation, at least from that standpoint, which is good. It gives him a flexibility for another year and not have to worry about that for another year. So, but I think both sides are on the same page on that one.
I love how you made the comment. You referenced it because John Schneider, and who you guys know very well, he's up there at the podium just hitting that red Solo Cup hard. Good for him. God, I love when he gets after it. Is that he turns around and he kind of jokes that he's trying to negotiate with me. Is Ken Walker? Ken Walker's like, I'm not doing anything. What are you talking about? What's it going to cost them? I mean, you look at some of these sites and they put his market value at like $9 million, but the cap's going up. Are we talking north of 11, 12? I mean, how expensive is it going to get for Seattle to retain Ken Walker?
Well, I was thinking about this. One of the things that could have helped him is if Clint Kubiak went somewhere where they don't have a running, like they have to commit to Ashton Genty where they are, right? So there's not going to be, maybe they bring him in. It's like, hey, show Ashton how you do it, and we have a two-headed backfield potentially. But I don't think you break the bank if you're going to wind up doing that. So I just don't see a lot of suitors out there. So how does that drive the price up? I think those sites are around. I mean, it's to me, it's like, does he crack 10? Does he get the 10? And I think that's probably the fair value for it. And in the end, it makes sense to bring him back to Seattle. But that dude is straight business. Straight business. He is. I had no idea till this Super Bowl run. And he's just like his dad. His dad doesn't go to games because he doesn't like crowds.
Yeah.
He's the same way. He didn't go to the post-game party. He just wanted to celebrate quietly. Yeah. And then something like that, it's like, a joke in the middle of a parade. He's like, why don't you? And he had to make it clear, no, I didn't do that. So, yeah. I don't think that in the end is a problem. I don't think we're not talking to them because he made that joke at the parade. I think it's just temporary and everybody takes a step back or whatever. But it's I think in a lot of ways it makes a lot of sense for him to go back to Seattle. Yeah. We'll be at the Combine in less than 2 weeks, which is unbelievable. We barely get to take a breath anymore, and that's where those negotiations will happen. So we'll have an update there. Maybe I'll join you then. How about that?
Okay, and Kobe Bryant, I would assume is high on their list. I mean, he's going to have a lot of.
Tried to get. If I'm recalling this correctly, they tried to get something done with him before camp.
Yeah,
and we're nowhere in the same ballpark. I'm trying to remember who his agent is because sometimes these agents just have unrealistic expectations and don't like doing the deals in those spots. I'm trying to remember. I have no idea. But I know that they made a run at it, and they were nowhere close on that one. So,
what about the job John Schneider's done here in the last few years? Where does this sit among the pantheon of general managers to do this, to win a game with different coaches, different quarterbacks, totally different rosters?
Outstanding, man. I'm telling you, he's one of the best in the business. There you go. Got a little logo on the back if you want that. What size are you?
Perfect. Well, yeah, I like to say a large, maybe an extra large.
Oof, that's a medium.
Yeah, medium's not going to fit me.
Just realized I haven't unpacked yet.
Yeah, well, you've
hey, just go with this one. This one's probably is a large.
Yeah, perfect. You just got home.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Oh. I just don't feel like sending it though. I'm not going to put it in the mail.
I know you're not.
My wife's got her rent the runway. She gets to rent the runway. She rents everything. She doesn't buy clothes, which is smart.
Oh,
and it's like, smart. Can you return my rent the run?
Wait, you can rent? Wait a minute. I've never heard it. You can rent clothes?
Yeah. It's a great business model.
I'm going to write that down. Rent the runway. So where does it rank? I mean, in terms of when you start thinking about general managers, I guess the question is, and this is so stupid to bring this up, has he cemented himself for a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, because it was two completely different rosters, right? There was no repeats on the 53. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, none.
So, that's the ability to do that and to move on from a legendary coach. I mean, listen, in the end, there were conversations that he had with Jody Allen to allow them to make that move. And that's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to get the hire right after that as well. And he was always super confident. When he hired Mike, I mean, I remember talking to him. He's like, this guy's a stud. He's so locked in, so okay. Yeah, right.
That's a good impersonation of him.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta go eyes wide too in the middle of
this. Just wide, and you're always expecting him to hit you.
No,
it's like a punch. It's like a punch, like trying to make his point. The punch making the point guy.
Yeah. And bless her heart. And Tracy was on the float with him yesterday. She deserves it. She's a saint. She's amazing. And those two are perfect. You got every year at the league meeting, they are a party, those two. And I can't wait to see what they're going to like this year.
He loves to get after it.
Yeah, she does too.
Yeah.
She doesn't leave anything on the field.
You should. I mean, Midwestern roots. Yeah.
And it's nice. I do. One of the things I do enjoy, I didn't get to, I had a red eye. I had to get to the airport. And so I missed the post game on the field. It's just incredible to see the families that have sacrificed so much. The kids, right? The kids have been moved around the country. That rarely see their parents, which is not great. I'm not going to, glorify that, but this is why you do it. And to see those moments with the family is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
I did not get the chance to do that this year. So it's he's done a great job. And is he a Hall of Famer? It sounds like it to me, right? Ron Wolf get in with what, one Super Bowl?
Yeah, he's got multiple. Yeah, I think he's cemented it.
It's just always weird. Like, when do you do it, right? Do you do it? I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's he's still a young guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, when do you put these guys in? I guess you wait till he retires. But yeah, he's a Hall of Famer in my book. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll be saying the same thing about Mike Macdonald.
What's the price tag now for this organization? And when will that be a topic? I think the league meetings are March 29th, if I believe. Is this something how long does this process take? Is this going to be settled before the season starts? Or does this go into the season, you think?
I don't know.
Are we talking is it north of $9-10 billion for this team?
The Lakers were 10, which is still baffling to me. Because I don't think, I just was talking to a guy that was involved in the sale in San Francisco about that. I was like, that number was what? And they asked, it's the brand or whatever. I was like, I felt like that was an overpay. I mean, they're all overpays in the end, but that one. So if any NBA franchise were at 10, why wouldn't any NFL franchise be worth 10?
Right.
I don't know. I don't think we'll get there just based on previous sales. I don't know who would have to be sold to be a jump. What's a cornerstone franchise in the NFL that could, I don't know, Steelers, Giants, right? I mean, but even the Giants sold a piece. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a record no matter what it is. And I think you strike while the iron is hot, certainly if you're Joey Allen. And so I'll say approaching 10, but maybe won't get there.
All right. So key dates, we got franchise tag coming up on the 17th. The 23rd is the combine.
Mm-hmm.
Free agency, what deals got to be completed by the 11th?
Yeah.
League meetings the 29th, and the draft is April 23rd. Yeah, there really is no break for you. You guys be at the combine, I assume, again?
Yes.
Wall-to-wall coverage? Okay.
I just booked my flight. I will be flying on Monday. I could have stayed till Friday. I'm leaving on Thursday. That's enough. 3 nights is plenty. You start to run into the same people, and you're like, "What am I doing here? I'm spending I'm just drinking."
Yeah, well, that's okay too. You can do that right now. There is multiple people sending pictures with you as you were heading into the Super Bowl, greeting fans, Seahawks fans, saying, "Hey, we watch and listen to you here."
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for taking the time to take some pictures with those people. I tried to find it, then I couldn't find it.
What do you mean find it?
Well, somebody emailed it to me or tweeted it to me, and then for some reason I can't find it.
Replied to somebody. I saw that.
I know, and now I can't find this stupid thing.
There's one nice young lady who I think they both live in Seattle, her and her father, but her father's a Patriot fan, or he was from Boston and now he relocated. So there was a picture I took it like this of he's in Patriots, she's in Seahawks. There were a couple other folks that listen to you on Puck all the time.
Very cool.
And they came by our set is what happened. And so it was we want the crowd. It's funny because they're in LA. They were like, we could barely hear you guys. I'm like, well, maybe you should have thought about this when you put a set in the middle of the parking lot in front of all the fans. And they were like, well, just could you tell them to be quiet? I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell them to be quiet. I won't egg them on. And they come to us, and our producer on site's going, ah!
Of course.
Of
course. Well, thank you. Another year in the books. I know we'll settle it off the air. What we're going to do, we'll give you some time off. But of course, it's a busy off season, so we'll put you on as much as we can, as much as your schedule permits. Big thanks to Hartley and Hartley Insurance, Jamie Hartley, Andrew Herzog, Zogs on Fox Island, and thank you for doing it. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of things going on. You carve out time every week for us. Indebted to you for doing it. Thank you so much, Mike.
Maybe we'll do training camp this year. What do you say?
Oh God, come on, do it one time. Then we got golf for you.
I got new bosses now too. I don't know what the hell.
Oh, that's right. Hey, when do you make that transit? When do I start saying ESPN?
No, you won't. I mean, listen, I might.
Do I say both?
No, no. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay, all right.
But I don't think it'll be. If I'm still at NFL Network this upcoming season, it'll just be NFL Network.
Okay.
We don't know who owns it, but it won't be. NFL Network as brought to you by ESPN. It's kind of like they have their SEC network. They kind of keep that branding or whatever.
Okay, yeah. I got you. All right.
But we'll see. A couple of bridges to cross before then.
All right. Best to you and your family. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. You too. Congrats, everybody. Enjoy it.
There he is, Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. And again, big thanks to Hartley and Hartley Insurance. Jamie Hartley, I know you're watching. I know you're listening either live or later. Big thanks to you. Could not do this without your support. Insurance experts in the Puget Sound area since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley, 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. Big thanks to Andrew Herzog for making the appearance with Mike Garafolo every single week. Well, gentlemen, another live edition of KJ-Arent with the one and only Mitch Levy, Mitch Unfiltered podcast. The entire show airs during the live daily Puck Drop, but once the live show is over, only way to watch or listen to it is if you're a Puck's Posse member at pucksports.com or become a patron at mitchunfiltered.com. There he is, the man who said it was never a doubt that this team would win a Super Bowl championship.
When you thank Garafolo for doing it all year and you say, I know you're really busy, is he really that busy?
He's a busy man. He's all over the place. He's working hard. He's working hard just like you. I'm going to thank you for doing it every week. You're working hard.
Yeah, but this isn't the end for us. So you're never gonna
that's get the surprise at the end for you.
Surprise. Oh, God.
Oh, man, they did it, Mitchie.
Oh, God. You know what I'm doing while I'm listening to you and Garafolo? Do you know what I'm doing?
What?
I'm looking at running back contracts on overthecap.com.
Jesus, man.
I've made a decision. 3 years, $33 million with a $6 million signing bonus.
Oh. Okay.
3 years, $33 million with a $6 million signing bonus.
So per year, that put him like second or third?
Well, if you'd like to know, it would put him in the Kyren Williams category.
Okay.
Kyren Williams has a 3-year, $33 million deal. James Cook, $46 million. Josh Jacobs. These are the guys that are above that.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. I don't think we're giving him Derrick Henry money or Christian McCaffrey money.
Or Taylor money.
So Kyren Williams is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's 8th.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Fair.
Well, fair.
We just did John Schneider's job. Why do they pay John Schneider so much money? We just did it. 3 years, $33 million with a $6 million signing bonus.
I love Walker's reaction that when Schneider's up there slurring about how he's going to try to do contract negotiations with me right now, and then him going on social media. I never said that. I didn't do any of that. That was great. It was just kind of a great moment, kind of a great insight into the personality that Kenny Walker is, but he made himself a lot of money, boy. That last month of the season or so, but that kid was just, when they went down with the Charbonnet thing, and he played his best football at the right time. It's great.
Yeah, but I don't know that teams really know what they're getting. Don't forget, as soon as he signs, he's gonna get banged up.
Oh,
practice. He's not going to be on the playing field. You know how it works. I mean, we had Brady Henderson over and over and over again during training camp telling us that Mike Macdonald's patience was wearing thin on Kenneth Walker and that he loves Zach Charbonnet so much that if Kenneth Walker doesn't get his ass back on the playing field, that Charbonnet could end up the starting back, the featured back.
Yeah, well, but there's a large gap between those two when it comes to being a featured back.
I think so.
And I love Zach Charbonnet. I think Charbonnet is tremendous, but there's a wide gap.
You want to know what I was doing before while listening to Garafolo, before I decided on 3 years, $33 million for Kenneth Walker? Would you like to know what I was doing before that?
Yes.
I was on DraftKings looking at future numbers on the Seattle Seahawks. Would you like to know what I found?
Yes, give it to me.
They are co-favorites to win the Super Bowl next year on DraftKings at plus 950. Plus 950. For your listeners who don't know, bet $100, win $950. Bet $1, win $9.50. If they win the Super Bowl, plus 950 along with the Rams. They are plus 475 along with the Rams to win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl. They are plus 160 to win the NFC West, but the Rams are plus 155. So the Rams are the slightest of favorites to win the NFC West. All right, here's a trivia question for you. On DraftKings, you can bet on Super Bowl matchup, but you got to get both teams right. What do you think the favorite at plus 3,000? Bet 100, win 3,000 back. What do you think the favorite Super Bowl matchup is in 2027, February?
Rams, Broncos.
You're wrong on both teams.
Wonderful. Seahawks, Bills.
Where's my bell? Get
the bell. Come on.
Get packed away. Seahawks, Bills, plus 3,000. Rams, Bills, plus 3,000. The favorite in terms of result of the Super Bowl, you can get plus 6,000 if you just bet on the Seahawks to beat the Bills. Right now, bet the Seahawks to beat the Bills next year, you get 6,000. How about MVP race? Would you like to guess what Sam Darnold is to win the MVP next year?
Yes, give it to me. He's got to be top 3?
No, not even close.
Really?
He's plus 2,800. He's like 10th or 12th.
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is plus 20,000 to win the MVP, along with Fernando Mendoza, who's also plus 20,000.
Who's the favorite? Stafford?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the.
Oh, Josh Allen's. Well, they really are. DraftKings really leaning in on the Bills next season. Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
These are the stats. I'm already thinking about 2027.
I know. It's so funny. They just won the damn game on Sunday, and it takes us like 2 days to start. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it. And well, I mean, they could have a real run here. This is a 3-4 year run where they could win multiple Super Bowls. Hell, I worked out a scenario this week where I got Sam Darnold in a gold jacket at the end of his career, for God's sakes. Jesus. I'm just awful.
You want to know what I decided? If I tell you what I decided, you may lose half of your audience.
I can't wait to hear this.
I really thought about this for a while.
Okay. What?
You're going to laugh, and then you're going to think about it.
Okay.
Your audience is going to be pissed, though, members of your audience. I have decided that the 2025 Seahawks would have won the Super Bowl with Geno Smith. I say it with a straight face.
Oh, you just want validation because you wanted Geno in the beginning of the year.
I have thought about this a lot.
Really?
In the last few days. And this is no disrespect towards Sam Darnold. I love having him. I'm glad he's here. I can't wait to see him next year. And he's a sweetheart of a fella, I've been told. He slings chicken at Raising Cane's. He does it all. But when you really think about it, now, of course, the members of your audience that hate Geno, I understand, whatever, you're never going to come aboard. But let's just talk to the people in your audience that like Geno, thought Geno did a good job. I mean, think about how Geno played behind a terrible offensive line, a bottom 5 offensive line with no Zabel and Lucas getting hurt on the right tackle. He was under siege every time he threw. Put Geno and his performance the last couple of years in the 2025 team behind that offensive line with Clint Kubiak handing the ball off, throwing the ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't think it's preposterous to think that they would have had the exact same result with Geno Smith at the quarterback.
I don't think you're crazy. I would say I don't know what behind the scenes, because Sam Darnold is so vastly different from Geno behind the scenes. Now,
that's my hesitation.
Now, from all accounts, Geno was always a well-liked person inside the locker room, as far as I could tell. I don't know. Maybe you know something different than I do.
Maybe difficult with the organization.
But and here's the thing that I would pause on it. I like Geno Smith. I was a very good quarterback. He was. I mean, he made plays and he put up numbers and had games and he made throws where you were really wowed by. I couldn't stand the social media stuff with Geno Smith. I just couldn't stand it.
But that's all.
I understand. I get that, but I think that stuff can kind of carry over behind the scenes.
I'm asking you and your audience right now.
There he is, Mitch Levy, with us every single Thursday. Another edition of KJ-Arent with Mitch, host of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast. Weekly show, again, airs in its entirety during the Daily Puck Drop. But once the live show is over, you must sign up to become a Puck's Posse member to listen and to watch the full show. Go to pucksports.com. All right, we do have the latest edition of Inside Pitch with Ryan Divish is out now. You can listen to it. The video portion of it will be up shortly. About 30 minutes, we kick it off. The start of spring training pitchers and catchers reporting. I will play a few minutes of it here for you, and then the full show got to become a Puck's Posse member. And again, if you're not a member right now, I'm just telling you, for $5 a month, $55 for a year, it's the greatest deal. If you are solely just a baseball fan, there is no one better that covers this team than this guy, than Ryan Divish. He's got more insight, more knowledge, just more everything when it comes to covering this team. And then, throughout the week, we'll have special guests and all that kind of stuff. But we did start off, which is not included in the clip that we're going to play, but did start off talking about, just the impact of Brendan Donovan, what he's going to have on this team. And I wanted to play this for you because the Mariners put it out on their social media account. And I love this from Brendan Donovan. I don't know anything about him other than his stats. I don't really know what kind of player he is. I don't know anything about what teammates think about him. But when I watched this clip yesterday of him meeting with the media, and this question actually was asked by or from Divish, this is, I don't know, man. I think this guy is going to fit in quite nicely here in Seattle and quite nicely with this Mariners team.
Well, I think the thing about me is like I believe in preparation. Like I try to be the most prepared player on the field. I think that may come with just kind of being able to play kind of all over the field, kind of be the most prepared. And I play really hard. I think that's something that, your effort, your mentality, all that, those are things that you can control in this crazy game. So that's something that I just try to play like my hair is on fire. And that's something that I think makes the game more fun too.
Again, I just think he's going to fit in perfectly, and great job there by the Mariners of getting that edit together. He just has that mentality that a lot of these guys do, on this baseball team already. And again, it just comes back. It's a very likable team, just like what we've seen here with the Seahawks. This team is very likable, this Mariners team. And that's just not always been the case. All right, we'll give you a few minutes of Ryan Divish Light if you want to watch or listen to the full Inside Pitch with Ryan Divish. Again, sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. It just costs you $5 a month. You can cancel anytime, can sign up for a year. If you have any issues, say this all the time. If you have any problems of signing up or it's too much money, and I get it, man. You're being asked to spend money on a lot of things. And so those who do spend money, I thank you. It's great. I appreciate it. It's not lost on me. But if you do have any, I'd love to be able to listen to this stuff, and I just can't afford it. I get it. Send me an email, and we'll work something out. puck@pucksports.com. But here's Ryan Divish inside pitch from earlier today.
I mean, like right now, Cole Young is the starting second baseman until he's not. I think that's the way they look at it because he has MLB experience. Like Colt Emerson, he is everything. And like Jude even said to me yesterday, I don't want to go on the hype train and be that guy, but I might be that guy here because he went watch Cole play shortstop yesterday and do some stuff. I might be that guy here soon, and that's how Kate Cole is. But I think what the Mariners are looking at is like, well, right now, if the season started and Cole Young was their second baseman, Brendan Donovan is the third baseman, and if Colt has to start the season in AAA, which was the expectation coming in, like the realistic expectation, then that's fine. But if Colt goes out and like goes crazy and has a Julio type of spring, then they're like, okay, we'll adjust it because you can play Donovan at short or at second, you can play him at third, and play him in left. DH him, they have some different options. I mean, it'd be a good problem to have if Colt came out and just set the world on fire during the spring. But like, I think they're not going to go on expecting him to do that because that's not fair to him. So I think like right now, Donovan will be the third baseman. And the one thing is like, let's say Colt is really good and maybe Cole struggles and they think, okay, he needs some time. They can do that. They have other options, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good scenario for them of how they're going to do stuff. And like Donovan was pretty funny talking about like Perry Hill and just like, yeah, like that first call you take, and like what he learned and everything like that. I mean, like that's what you want to hear. So and I don't think he's going to be like Ben Williamson level defense, but I think, given who he is and how he prepares, I think he can be, above average defensive third baseman, with work. I mean, like Suarez wasn't great when he first started with Perry and got better over time, and you've seen that with a lot of guys. So I think that's what that's kind of how they're looking at it.
You think they've got a primary designated hitter or kind of going to be another season DH by committee?
No, I think Ken Zone will be the DH most days, especially against a right-handed pitcher. He's not great defensively, and you have Robles and you have Randy and Rayleigh and other guys that are better defensively than him. So I think you can do it that way. That's the way I've read into it, is like they look at Dom as more of a DH than an outfielder, because it's like that's the one thing too, is if you start Dom at DH, you can get creative. When they bring in a lefty, you're not burning a position player by doing it if you have to move around. So I think that's what they do.
Yeah. And his value's in his bat, obviously. I mean, you start looking at the roster, there doesn't seem to be many battles. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong, but it comes down to the last few. Who are we talking about?
Well, I still think Leo Rivas makes a team in some way because he can play shortstop, and then it's like and then like Rayleigh's on the major league contract. So I don't, maybe one more spot. It is a Master Brony or somebody else, or is that the spot? One thing is Colt Emerson makes the team out of spring training. He's playing. You're not having to make the team out. So, I mean, that's the last spot on the position side. Maybe, I don't know if there's a real battle for the back of the catcher spot. And I guess there could be. They've got two guys with MLB experience. And then you've got maybe the last spot in the bullpen. It was Casey Legamina is the last right-hander with Jackson Cohart on. I mean, they're like, we're watching bullpens yesterday. Every one of these guys is pumping 97, it seems like. And, do they have a light guy like Dane Dunning in there or Criswell? And so I don't know. And like today, we're going to see Ferrer threw yesterday off the mound. He's going to throw today. And then, Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller. So we'll have some videos for you. How about that Cade Henderson video yesterday?
I just, again, I mean, I need a smoke. If I smoked, I'd have a smoke.
My buddy Brian, who's left-handed pitcher in college and stuff. He goes, hey, did you watch that video of Cade Anderson I posted? He goes, yeah, with one hand down my pants.
Yeah, the full, again, Ryan Divish inside pitch. He joins me every single week talking Mariners baseball. 25 plus minutes as we kick off our spring training coverage with pitchers and catchers is available if you're a Puck's Posse member. Again, $5 a month. You sign up for a year, you get a discount. Can cancel anytime. Again, let me know if there's any issues. Send me an email. Reach out, puck@pucksports.com. We'll work something out. But again, great stuff there from Ryan. We talk about, again, more in depth on what the roles are going to be for Colt Emerson and Cole Young. Position battles going down to the end. Cal Raleigh's encore. More on Brendan Donovan. Is this the year that Julio gets off to a faster start? If he does, my God, what does this mean for the team? And what does it mean for his end of the year stats, what they would look like? We covered all there with Ryan Divish, and again, available right now. Just go to pucksports.com and sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. And again, we post both the audio and video up there as well. Video will come up shortly, and then we do a smaller video clip, which is free to everyone there on YouTube. All right, as we wind down the show on this day, which is brought to you by Hive Social. Hive Social, the official social meetup app of Puck Sports. I put out a Hive Social yesterday where we were at the parade. And so you could see, like, just go into the app, you click it on, and if you're not a member, sign up today. I'm on there, Puck Sports. And you can see where we were at, exact location, and all the kind of, it's a really cool app to tell you where all the meetups are, where people are watching things, where people are hanging out. And again, we always say it's kind of a mashup between LinkedIn and Snapchat. They're for adults, no algorithms. It's free. You're not inundated by advertisements, which are great. It's awesome. And again, it's the official social meetup app of Puck Sports, made by a proud graduate of Washington State University. Download Hive Social on iOS and Google Play. Again, I stress this. It is free. There's no strings attached to this one. It is free. That is Hive Social, HYV Social. You can connect. And again, just search up my handle, Puck Sports, there on Hive Social. On this day, February 12th, one of the greatest movies ever created, debuted on this day in 1993, starring Bill Murray, called Groundhog's Day. If you haven't seen it, and even if you have seen it, go watch it again, because it just is the absolute best. Nothing ever gets better than Groundhog's Day. Starring Bill Murray and the great Andy McDowell. All right, on this day, February 12th, some happy birthdays going. One happy birthday, one significant happy birthday to a real NBA legend with Seattle roots. The great Bill Russell, 11-time NBA champion, 12-time All-Star Bill Russell, no longer with us, passed away back in 2022, would have been 91 years old today. Second overall pick in the 1956 draft out of the University of San Francisco, the Dons. Great nickname. He coached and was the GM of the Sonics from 1973 to 1977. Made his home in Seattle in Mercer Island. It was a fixture of this community. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1975. And all the accomplishments that he had and made on the court probably overshadowed by all the accomplishments he made off the court in his civic duty, a prominent figure of the civil rights movement, star player on the Boston Celtics in a time which he was not welcomed on that court in that city. He changed a lot of people's attitudes about him and others. Averaged 15 points, 23 rebounds in his long, illustrious NBA career. Happy birthday going out to the great Bill Russell. That's on this day, brought to you by Hive Social. Download it to iOS or Google Play. That is HYV Social. All right. Hey, what the puck is? It's a new sponsor, but it's not a new sponsor. It is still the same company that is Restoration One, our buddy Trent and his crew. They have just rebranded their name to bring it under they had another company, so they're bringing it all under their one company. But it offers the same great coverage that they're going to take care of you, especially with your residential or commercial property. And they have additional services there as well. But same idea. When disaster hits your home or your business, you want a local contractor, and that we stress that a local contractor that you can trust, and that is Tersuli Construction. Tersuli Construction is Seattle's restoration and construction expert, specializing in water damage, fire, and mold, and insurance claim reports. But they don't stop there. One contractor, every solution from emergency response to full-scale rebuilds and remodels. Tersuli Construction is a full-service contractor handling your project from start to finish, locally owned and operated out of Ballard, proudly serving the Puget Sound region for over 15 years. If you're dealing with damage or planning what's next, call the team that does it all, Tersuli Construction, restoring what matters, building what's next. Give them a call at 206-793-3744. That's 206-793-3744, or visit tersuli.com. That's TERSULI.com. Again, it's still the same corporation or company that was bringing Restoration One, but they've just brought it their restoration company under one umbrella. Yesterday was incredible, and hopefully everyone got to enjoy it with family and friends. Incredible that our city all got together to celebrate another world championship. Nothing brings people together like sports. Nothing. The arts are great. I love the arts, but there's just nothing like sports. It just has a way that galvanizes large groups of people that normally wouldn't come together. And that's the power of it. That's what I saw yesterday on the streets in Seattle. It was a beautiful day. And if you're visiting Seattle for first time in a very long time, you understand it's not burning, by the way. And it has not, disappeared, which I know that's the narrative out there, that it's, a blank hole and it's awful, and be wary, be scared of going down there. So many of you that braved that and went downtown and you made it out alive, good for you. But it was an incredible day. Phenomenal. And it was great to see so many kids out there. I can't stress enough how great the players were. The players were just fantastic. How they interacted with everybody, coming off the floats, talking to fans, talking to kids, throwing footballs, and just having a blast. So much fun. And so much fun to be there and to witness it and to kind of be a part of one big party. I hope we can do it for the Mariners soon. God, because it would be phenomenal for the Mariners. Whatever they had, 1 million there yesterday, I mean, it's no doubt would top 1 million. The Mariners pull that off. But just a fun day. It was so good to be down there. It was so great to do the show down there. We basically got off the show without any hitches. It was fun to kind of take the show on the road in Goldie, and for people coming up and saying hi, that was great too. So I hope everyone that participated in it yesterday had a great time. So thank you. That is Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Tersuli, if I can spit this out, Tersuli Construction. Thank you. It's a mouthful for me because I'm used to saying something else. But Tersuli Construction, big thanks to them. Seattle's restoration and construction experts. Reach out to them, 206-793-3744. Tersuli.com is the website. Big thanks to everybody watching and listening to today's show. Thank you to all our sponsors. As always, Limbeck Lumber, John Howie Steak, Zogs on Fox Island, Hartley and Hartley Insurance, Georgetown Brewery. Check out their new tavern beer, Hive Social, and Tersuli Construction. Today's Daily Puck Drop up on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on your favorite podcast platforms, and of course up at pucksports.com. When you're there at pucksports.com, go sign up to become a member of the Puck's Posse. It's just $5 a month. You support all the free content that we give you. Plus, we give you bonus shows throughout the week, like our baseball coverage with Ryan Divish on Inside Pitch, coming out today. It is out now. Sports Pit with Matt Stretch Johnson. And, of course, KJ-Arent with one. Mitch Levy coming out every Thursday. Also, be sure to check out the Graz with Gas Take 5 podcast, now produced by Puck Sports. New episodes every single Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Fingers crossed we get Egan again from the lawn. We'll find out. I got to send him let's see what time. Yeah, I can send him a text now. And we'll have Jim will be back. We'll do one last visit with Condota. We'll do another visit with Troy to kind of, recap all the betting figures, maybe even look into the futures for next season. So we will talk to you tomorrow in a Friday edition. As always, we promise to be better. And that's what I'm talking about. Promise to be better. And I never deliver it.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first. What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!